Welcome to this neighborhood, neighbor.
I am the Martian ambassador.
Des Moines and all of central Iowa, welcome to Max World Live. Max World is your world. Every day we talk about the issues and topics that matter most to you. And as always, it's your voice we want to hear in Max World. So join the conversation by calling 515-244-0077. And now, here's the host of Max World Live, J. Michael McCoy.
All right, 7 minutes after the hour of 3 o'clock on this very first day of February in the Lord's year 2016. A day that will go down in infamy. Literally. It's the Iowa caucuses. I'm not telling you anything you didn't know. If you are not a person who lives here in Iowa, but for whatever reason you listen to this show, and I thank you. You think Carbone listens ever live? Can I say bad stuff about him and he'd never hear? That's Chris's boss.
You know, when we quoted him the other day, he didn't know. I told him that we quoted him, so he doesn't listen all the time. I'm sure he listens to the program.
Him? I don't remember.
Do you want me to bring it up? Do you remember what we?
No, that's okay.
It was when the as broadcasters we get to privy. We get first dibs on hearing those political ads, and it was the day that the Jerry Falwell Jr. ad for Donald Trump came out, and he expressed his disappointment in Falwell Jr. on Facebook, and I told him that we quoted him. He wasn't too happy about it.
Well, that's nice. He wasn't happy that we quoted him?
He wasn't. And then I said, but, you didn't say anything. He didn't say anything
But he
bad.
put it on Facebook, didn't he?
Yeah, but, Facebook on some level you can kind of control because you know who your friends are. Unless you're you. You have more friends on Facebook than most pages have likes. You have in the multiple thousand range of friends.
Yeah, but do you know why? I mean, that doesn't say anything about me, okay? I don't. This is the truth.
Right.
Well, let me tell you what we're going to do today so you're listening, so we don't get all wrapped up in this. It's the Iowa caucuses, and everybody else is running at 110 mile an hour. Today, we're going to run 55. In fact, we might even run 40. We're going to take it easy. We're going to share some prayers. We're going to pray for the candidates. And we're also going to give you an opportunity to call in, Frank, with no argument or debate.
All right. That is the key. No argument.
Somebody can call in and tell us who they're caucusing for and why.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to, I don't want anybody on this room. Well, now, let me put it this way. If somebody calls in and asks a question about what we think about this candidate or that candidate, then it's okay.
Yeah, sure.
But otherwise, I want people to feel free to either text us or call us who they're going to caucus for tonight or who they're thinking about caucusing for.
How do they do that?
They would, what do you mean, how would they do that?
What's the number to call?
Oh, you're being so... 515... that used to be Frank's job, and he just totally...
Yeah.
515-244-0077.
That's the number to call if you want to talk to us, and we'd love to hear you. And then if you want to send us a text, you can do that to the Service Legends Truth text line, which is...
That is 809-0993 for the...
The guy's like an elephant. He doesn't forget anything.
That's right. That's the text line. So either of those places, we do want to hear from you today. I definitely want to because, Mac, and I'll interrupt you a little bit if I could here. I'm undecided still at this point. I mean, I told Frank I've narrowed it down to 2 out of all the folks. I mean, I know who I'm not going to vote for in the caucus tonight, but I'm not convinced on the other 2. And I would like to hear people tell me who they're caucusing for.
Can you say not gonna?
Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent, not at this juncture. So I would like to hear who people are caucusing for. 515-244-0077. But that's not all we're going to do today, Mac.
What if somebody calls up and says Hillary?
That's fine.
That's great.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want anybody to feel bad about calling. If you ask us a question, then we'll answer the question, and we're going to take. That's kind of like the secret word that you will welcome our discussion about what you're thinking about. But if you don't ask a question, or you just don't want any comment back, that's wonderful. This is going to be a one-sided talk radio show today. Usually I like to debate with people when they call up. Even if I agree with them, it's always a fun debate just to kind of dig into go deep what they're thinking about.
Why are they thinking that? Yeah.
But I want to read a little bit from Romans 13.
Okay.
That talks about how we're supposed to obey our government and our leaders. So anyway, that's kind of what the show's about today. It's going to be real laid back. Everything else is running a million miles an hour. And I just want to kind of do a little laid back today. All right, so now I forget already. What were we talking about that I said, hold on, I want to make sure people know what is going on in the show?
We're going to play some videos and pray.
Before that.
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't know. I think we were just yakking. Nothing.
I know
nothing
we
real
were,
deep.
but it was terribly important.
I'm sure it was. And you'll remember.
Frank, you're supposed to remember those things.
Okay.
You don't remember?
I will. No, I don't recall. I'll write that down next time.
Okay. So, exciting weekend for us. I took my grandkids down to the, I never can remember what the name of the building is, where all the caucus media is.
Embassy?
No. I went to the embassy also, but before that it was the tall white building that has the Des Moines Register in it.
I always think about it when I'm on the Skywalk. It's that place where it all opens up there.
The Iowa Event Center? The Convention Center?
Right next to the umbrella.
Oh, yeah. The building with all the glass and the awnings.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the one.
Ryan just reminded me that we were talking about my thousands of friends on Facebook. Unless a request for a friend, if it has a female showing off her breasts, I never accept those. I'm not interested in anybody who thinks that's the way you get friends. But otherwise, I accept all the people who come because they're radio listeners. And a lot of times I'll go over and I'll ask them thanks for befriending me. How do we know each other? And 9 out of 10, well, it's either church, my book club, or it's off the radio. So that's why I have so many. I don't know most of those people, but I'm glad to have them as friends. I mean, you watch my Facebook. We have some great conversations.
Yeah,
because I don't just have conservative Christian men.
Absolutely. Well, and it's in the way Facebook has changed from a marketing perspective, it's much better because most people that have pages and things like that, Facebook has really shut down the organic interaction between regular Facebook users and pages because Facebook wants people who have company pages to buy likes or buy posts, that kind of stuff. So it's actually really great that you are that open because it gives you an opportunity to talk to people. Whereas things like our Facebook page, our Facebook page honestly has just shy of 1,000 people on it, and which is really crazy. But that's because I don't spend money on paying for those posts and those likes and those boosts or whatever those things are on Facebook.
But you do a good job on our Facebook page.
Well, I think and we have a lot of people that interact with our Facebook page, and I think the reason why it does so well is because those are real, authentic fans, not just people that we've paid to like our Facebook page. But, you talked about kind of the frenzy that things are here. And I have to say, as someone new to the state, and I don't know how many Iowans can relate to this, but I'm a new Iowan. And my pastor put on Facebook actually this weekend a request for all of those who are his friends that are not Iowans to actually be praying for us here in the state. Because as you pointed out, this caucus is this thing that we do here in this state. The country is watching. The nation is watching. Will we, in fact, pick the next president of the United States? Very well, maybe we won't. But that really doesn't matter. The point is that the nation is really watching us, and this whole political thing really kicks off here. And as someone who's going to participate in it, I feel like I should know with confidence when I vote who I'm voting for, because I feel like it matters. It's an exciting time. It's different than a general election. It's different than some of those other things because there's a lot of people paying attention. So it's exciting.
All right, let's go to the phones where JR is our first caller today, and he'd like to share with us who he's caucusing for. JR, welcome to Mac's World. How you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks. I guess I'm a little bit maybe unusual than most of you guys there. I'm a UAW worker, union worker, but I'm a Christian. I'm a man of God first, and my feeling is right now I'm going to get behind Cruz. I was kind of back and forth. I work in an ag sector, and I hear what the governor told told us, and so I kind of had some doubts at that point in time. But no, the more I listen, the more I hear. I think he's a true man of God, and it's who I'm going to get behind. I kind of like Rick Santorum's message a little better, but since he hasn't really got any traction, I guess Cruz is going to be my guy.
All right, JR, and you don't have to give me specifically, but what area of town are you going to caucus in?
Well, I'm out in the rural area. I'm out in Sonora.
Okay. All right, good. So how many people do you think will be at your caucus?
Well, I haven't ever caucused before. This is going to be my first time, but, I look forward to seeing, I'm going to say 200 people there.
Wow.
Maybe I'll be wrong, but I'm hoping.
Yeah, we did a special show for Swiss Television on Saturday, and a question came up of how many precincts are there in the state of Iowa. And I guessed 2,000, and I thought I was going to be high, 3,500 between the Democrats and the Republicans. 35. That's a lot.
It is.
Well, I would imagine most of them are centered around metropolitan areas.
There's probably more, yeah.
Hey, JR, thanks for listening, man. I appreciate you.
You bet. Thanks.
All right, God bless. All right, we've got another caller on the line, Matt. But Matt, I want you to hold on. I want to you'll be the first guy on after the break. We're just simply really calm today and talking about who we're caucusing for. And unless you want feedback on who you're caucusing for, we're not going to do that. We're not going to debate with you. We're not going to argue with you. I am kind of taking a list here, and I'm just going to see kind of where our audience sits. JR said he was for Cruz. Who are you for? 515-244-0077. We're live in Mac's World, and thanks for listening to The Truth 99.3.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Hi, my name is David Burrier, your Hope Coach. I host a live weekly talk show called I've Been There every Thursday afternoon at 5:30, right here on webcast1live.com, and on my weekly radio program Saturday mornings at 10 on Truth Network 99.3 FM. I interview common everyday people who have survived incredible life challenges and who testify to God's faithfulness in the midst of their storms. So join me as we bring a message of hope and encouragement. Everybody needs hope. I know, because I've been there.
Rock and Prevention is celebrating 25 years of creating a caring community. We want to say thank you to the tens of thousands of Rock High School mentors that have carried our message of health, love, and encouragement to over 1.5 million children, teachers, and parents. Our mentors teach children methods and skills to prevent bullying and drug use. Thank you to all the school administrators, teachers, and counselors for their opportunity to serve you. Rock on, fair citizens. Rock on. This is Pat McManus for Rock and Prevention, the Richard O. Jacobson Foundation, and this station.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast 1 Live.
21 minutes after 3 o'clock, 3:21 in the afternoon, first day of February. It's caucus day in Iowa, and we're just going to kind of slow it down. My day, my weekend, my day today has just been 1,000 mile an hour. Let me tell you what it was like. I had to recharge my phone yesterday. That's the first time I've had to recharge my phone in the middle of the day in I don't know how long. And you got to remember, Sunday morning I don't use it. Because I'm in church, and I leave it down because Pastor Mike tells me he watches me, and when he sees me pick up my phone to text, and he knows it's not the Bible because I always carry my Bible. So,
Right.
Anyway, but it was crazy, and I took the grandkids down to Capitol Square. Thank you very much, Jesse Bunny, the only guy you should ever use for commercial real estate. Capitol Square is the building, and they have it completely shut off for all the foreign media, or not foreign, but out of Des Moines media.
Right.
And then Fox News is over at the Embassy Suites. And I went over to Fox News and ended up hanging around there for a while. So, and I'm just like, I'm like a kid in a candy store. And it isn't Megyn Kelly or it's not the personalities. I don't know how this is going to sound, but I relate to those people. They're not They're not stars to me. Now, Reba McEntire's a star.
Right.
I mean, I'll drool over her or Garth Brooks or Clint Black or, some country star. But other news people, we're just all kind of the same for me. And I don't mean that arrogantly.
No,
just the way I feel.
That makes sense.
But it was really cool to just kind of hang around. And I had my media credentials, so I got to go, wherever I wanted to go. And so it was really a fun day, but man, tired. All right, let's go to Matt, who is on the phone, and he wants to share with us who he's going to caucus for. Matt, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, guys. Thanks. Thanks for your station. Thanks for what you're doing for the country.
Hey, you bet. Thank you for listening.
Yeah. Well, I can get some feedback too. I guess what is your expectation for turnouts in the caucuses?
If the weather holds, in fact, I was going to say this earlier, we may not get this huge snowstorm.
Right. They're definitely pushing it back to late tonight, if anything. I mean, really overnight, if anything.
And there's a warm air bubble, if I can use that term. I'm sure there's a meteorologist term.
Yeah.
And it is coming underneath the storm, and it's pushing it to the northwest. So where it was going to just basically slice all the way across Iowa. Oh, maybe Keokuk and that area maybe not get it so bad. Now that warm air bubble is past 80-35. So it's past 80. So we may not get, we'll probably get something, but it won't be that much.
That's that global warming. I found out the actual cause of that.
Yeah, right. Frank?
Last night, I heard a number for your reference, Matt. Our record high is 122,000. There's estimations of it could be between 135 and 150, and I've heard some people say it might not be a shock if we hit 200,000. And if we hit 200,000, they say Trump will win it in a walkaway.
Yeah, the higher the number gets, the more in favor of Trump and Bernie Sanders.
Right, because they're the sort of outsider, non-traditional. So Matt, is this your first time?
Regarding a call-in?
No, I'm sorry, for caucusing. Yeah, no, thank you for that.
Yeah, well, and I'm not sure I'm going to. I don't feel that it's neat. I think Trump's going to, kind of go right through it. And I can't think of a real solid reason why he's not the guy. Because I like Cruz. I really do. I wish I could give Cruz the net worth that Trump does, that he has. And so he could sneer at anyone just like Trump does, and this is where we're going to do things, and because I love his values. But I think that Trump can be taught those values also.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that. You think Trump what?
Can be taught those values.
Yeah, I remember when we were sitting up at the Family Leader, whatever that was called. What was it, June or July?
The leadership forum.
Up in Ames.
Yep.
And Donald said the famous, I don't ask God for forgiveness, I just take care of it myself.
That was May.
May? Okay. And obviously, Bob and I were sitting in the balcony at the time, and we kind of looked at each other, and I sighed, because I didn't want to hear that, especially in a room like that. In fact, the whole room kind of said that. But there was a thought inside of me that says maybe what's going to happen is Jesus is going to mug Donald during this time, whether he's in the White House or not. Maybe he'll be confronted or convicted of enough evangelicals to say, hey, listen, you can't be a cultural Christian. I mean, you can be if you want to be, but those of us that follow Jesus and have a relationship with him rather than follow Christianity as our religion, you're not speaking the lingo, or I don't know what to say. You don't have the Holy Spirit. I mean, I'm not trying to judge the guy.
I've been mugged more than once by my Savior, Lord Jesus Christ. And that's okay, as long as you don't let go of my hand when he does it.
That's right.
And if I could get Trump to take 30 minutes and watch movie 180 by Ray Comfort, that might be something that could open his eyes. Things like that. I think the speed of information that we're operating under as a culture, Trump, in that situation or in the seat that he'll be in, will not have an option but to see some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Well, and should Trump get the nomination, I will support him. I mean, I'm not going to support him in the caucuses, but I will support him if he gets the nomination. Mm-hmm. A big thing for me is going to be, who does he choose as a vice president? Does he choose a lapdog like Joe Biden, or does he choose a Bush like Reagan did? Does he choose somebody that really knows what's going on? And my prayer is that he chooses Rubio, and that maybe Rubio can spread enough of the gospel in Donald's speak that he'll get it. Now, he's got Sam Clovis next to him, too, and Sam's a wonderful follower of Jesus. So, hey, Matt, listen, man, thanks for your call today. And
how about Cruz? Let's have him pick Cruz.
Yeah, I'm...
If they could get along. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate your time.
Hey, and thanks for listening.
Yeah.
All right, bye-bye. Frank?
Did you hear the rumor, and it was a pretty strong rumor, Joe Scarborough?
What?
Joe Scarborough is VP.
Joe Scarborough?
Yeah, the ex-congressman from Florida who's doing a television gig on MSNBC.
Yeah, he's doing...
Mika and Joe in the mornings or whatever. There's been some rumor going around that it would be him. Now, I don't know about that, but...
I don't know. I mean, I just hope... Well, I don't know. All right, let's go to Kevin. Kevin, you're live in Mac's World. How are you today, Kevin?
Hey, doing well, Mac. How are you guys doing?
Good. So are you going to caucus tonight?
Going to caucus tonight for the first time out in Clive, and going to caucus for Cruz. All right. So are you going to Seven Flags? Going to the Waukee Middle School.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you're on the Waukee side of Clive to steal Stivers. Yeah,
Right.
most of Clive is either at the Waukee Elementary or Middle School, or I'm at Seven Flags. I'm looking forward to there. And if you're listening and you're at Seven Flags, come on up and say hi. Please do.
I will.
Are you going to be there too?
Yep.
Hey, all right, Kevin, any questions or anything? Or I appreciate you calling in and sharing that you're going for Ted Cruz.
Sure. Yeah. No, I just wanted to pass on if anybody has not seen that video of Ted explaining his position on ethanol to that farmer.
Oh, I heard about that.
That's a must see. I mean, that's just the way he is. He's respectful, and I love how he takes time to explain things to people. And it just, when you see the conversion of the farmer, it's really a testimony to Ted.
And I think you probably know this, Kevin, but that was not rehearsed or prepared or anything. That was an actual camera rolling at a Cruz event where a farmer came up, and so it wasn't. I mean, it was natural. It was genuine.
Yeah. Well, looking at the pulse of the farmer, he came with both barrels. So he's either a great actor or it is authentic, like you said. And I believe the latter.
Yeah, I think that was authentic, Kevin. I appreciate you calling, and thanks for listening.
Certainly.
All right, 515-244-0077. That's the number to call, and you can get on the air with us. You can also give us a text at the Service Legends Talking Text Truth line at 809-0993. Do we have any text yet coming in?
Not yet.
Okay. And what is Army Brad saying?
He said to tell Chris, not Cruz. It's capitalized.
Yeah. Army Brad still feels that Cruz is not eligible because of where he was born. Now, I will tell you that I spoke to somebody, and I'm not doubting Brad. I love Brad. But there's a person I love more than Brad, and she is a constitutional professor. And she says that he's absolutely eligible. So I don't know. Frank, what were you going to say?
Oh, nothing. I was just...
Frank was going to say nothing?
Chris,
did you write that down?
Now, hang on here. I was
first day of
asking
February.
Bob if there was any texts or any Service Legends texts. That's what I was pointing to. I wasn't pointing to talk.
All right.
You know, by the way, speaking of that, it was really surprising to me that I confess to watching the Today Show. I'm a sucker for Al Roker. I mean, he just, I like the guy. But so I watched the Today Show, and I don't know if anybody else caught that. Trump was on this morning on the Today Show, and he brought up once again that he doesn't think Cruz is eligible to run. Just this morning.
I saw that. I didn't see it this morning. I saw it yesterday that he was still spreading that. I don't know.
He's still bringing it up. I think he brought it up because I think, according to Trump anyway, it definitely took a dent out of some of the Cruz sales. Some of the supporters just thought, well, gosh, this isn't worth it then.
Didn't.
I'm saying that's what Trump said. I'm not telling you this. You know what's fascinating though, Matt?
At 244-0077.
Yes, people can call in and tell us who they're going to be caucusing for at 515-244-0077. Love hearing from these folks. And in fact, it's been really great to hear from, I know at least two of the people acknowledge that this was their first time that they hadn't caucused before, which is really exciting to me because that's the sense that I'm hearing. I'm in that, but I'm a new island, right? So I just moved here the last time we got to do this. So this will be my first time caucusing as well.
So you're going to caucus in the Republican or the Democratic side?
Oh, of course, the Democratic side. Okay. No, I'm joking. No, I'll be caucusing in the Republican.
I was about to show you the door, Mr. Roloff.
That's right. I will be, Lord willing, I will be at the Stony Creek Inn is what we're doing in Urbandale. I'm on that north side
Mac,
there.
you said something about Brad says. He immediately responded back, knows.
Yeah, I know. And I respect Brad a lot. I mean, Brad's been a brother of mine for 10 years, 11 years.
Yeah.
And we both kind of came into Jesus at the same time and same Bible study and same church. And I respect him unbelievably. Now, what's going to have to happen is somebody's going to have to file a lawsuit.
Yeah.
That says Cruz isn't eligible. And then it'll have to go before the courts. And quite frankly, that will never be decided before the general election, even in November. So that's the thing I don't like about Donald. But that's what he is. He's a showman. And I relate to that. I do. I understand that. All right, let's take a break. We're coming back. It's your voice. I want to hear who you caucusing for. 244-0077.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
I'm Brian Leach, owner of Service Legends, and my position is Chief Talent Officer.
I'm Nicholas Wonderscheid.
I am Bernie Homs.
And I'm the Service Manager.
Marketing Director and Client Relations Manager.
Everything that we do is about ensuring that we exceed your expectations.
Our clients are important to us. 100% satisfaction.
We're not just focused on heating and cooling. That's the easiest part of our job, actually, is fixing furnaces and air conditioners.
Everyone that we come in touch with, we want to improve lives.
Bottom line is, we've got our installation guarantees, 25% energy savings guarantee, comfort guarantee, temperature selection guarantee, property protection guarantee.
100% satisfaction guaranteed, fixed rate or it's free.
All of those guarantees are backed up with a 100% money-back guarantee to hold ourselves accountable to making sure that you get what you're after.
Just fixing the problem today. If they have another problem 5 days down the road, it's still fixed rate or it's free.
We use what's called straightforward pricing. Our technicians are going to give you an exact to-the-penny price on what it's going to take before they move forward with any repair. That way you know what to expect.
It's the same price every day.
No surprises.
If you get off work at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, You come home, you realize that, oh, my furnace is broken. Now you need to call somebody out that night. You shouldn't have to pay more for that.
We're guaranteeing service 24/7.
We run afternoons, evenings, nights, weekends. We're staffed to work that.
Phone rings at 3 in the morning. You'll get one of our representatives answering the phone every time.
We're not sending you out to Timbuktu in some call center. It's our Service Legend team members, our mission control team.
I'll take a call anytime.
And then they answer the phones the same way during the day as they do at night.
It's a great day at your service company. How can we make you smile?
That's the only way to provide true 24-hour service.
When you're able to let somebody actually live in their home safely when they weren't able to do that before, where they don't have to stay up at night and worry about, is the heat going to come back on? Are we going to freeze the pipes? Is the baby in the room next door going to be sick because they got too cold? When you're able to help somebody overcome challenges like that, that's impacting a life. That makes a difference. I get goosebumps thinking about it.
I love the team. I love the people that I work with.
We have fun, but we work hard.
I call them my ambassadors of legendary service. If you could just envision what that is, that's who we're sending to your home.
They literally will call in, pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I want to talk to your manager. And I get on the phone, they're like, that technician that was at my house was the greatest technician ever. That's cool to me.
We want to brighten people's days.
Every person that we have going into the house has gone through an extensive background check.
Drug testing, we have a very thorough interview process that 1 out of 140 people make it through.
If we promise you something, that's what you're going to get, no matter what.
We're here when you need us to protect the safety and comfort of your family.
If you're not happy, we're going to make it right.
If we're willing to put 100% money back guarantee on what we do, what type of work do you think we do?
Give us a call. We're there for you 24/7, 365 days a year.
Enough said.
All right, 3:38, 22 minutes before the top of the hour. Salem Radio Network News. First day of February, a day that will live in infamy. It is the Iowa caucuses, and there is a chance, as Frank said earlier, that we might break the caucus record. If we get anywhere north of
122,000 is the record.
That's the record. Okay.
That's the record. So they're talking maybe 135 to 50, and I've heard some extreme estimates of 200.
Well, you know, it's fascinating, Mac. We've been inviting people to call in at 515-244-0077 and share who they're going to be caucusing for, and they can also send us a text at the Service Legends Truth text line at 809-0993. But it was really surprising to me that so far 50%, which doesn't say a lot. We've had 4 people call in. 2 out of the 4 people that called in have mentioned that this is the first time that they have caucused. And I think I think they were both Cruz people too. I think that's interesting. That does say something about the intensity of this particular election and this season.
And the reason I mention it is because there's same night voter registration also. So you can show up at the polls and register and caucus tonight. So
yes.
they don't know who may come.
Yeah, which reminds me, I mean, that makes me think about it. You know, from what I understand, the door's shut at 7. So come 7 o'clock, you're either in or you're out. So, you know, I don't know how early I'm going to go over there. I think I'm going to go home, grab a bite to eat, and then head that way, I think. I don't know how long I need to be in line because I'm actually one of those.
You need to register.
I believe I actually do need to register.
Yeah. Yeah, and here's what I'm going to be looking for from the Secretary of State. And I probably won't know this tomorrow, but I've got to call into the Secretary.
You do, okay.
And ask him to give me the number. I want to know how many people showed up at a Republican caucus who were Democrats, and switched to Republican.
Do they know that? Can they know that?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Because it's by name, right? They can just... Are they going to do the work to know that, though?
They'll have to. They have to. There has to be a document that is placed into the system that this person went from Democrat to Republican. Okay, you can't just say I'm Republican for the night. I mean, I wish you could in this state. One of the things I don't like about Iowa's process is we don't allow independents. We don't allow independents to caucus or vote in primaries. You have to be registered as either a Democrat or a Republican, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
Well, there's so many independents out there that are going for Trump on one side and Cruz on the other.
Right.
That I want to know how many Democrats crossed over and voted for Trump. Because I think that's going to give us a good indication of what the primary election, no, not the primary, what the main election will be like after the in November. Because, you know, it's always... You've always got 40% of get the Democratic vote and 40% get the Republican. The 20% in the middle is the independents. The independents control are elected officials. And whatever way they are swayed, and right now Trump is swaying a lot of independents to come to the Republican side. The interesting thing is if for some reason Trump had decided to run as a Democrat, which he could have just as easy as a Republican,
sure,
then we'd be seeing a lot of independents sway over and file for a Democrat.
Yeah.
So, all right, who's on the phone with me now? Reed is on the phone. Reed, you are live in Mac's World. How you doing, Reed?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, buddy. Good, buddy. So who are you going to caucus for tonight?
I will be caucusing for Carly Fiorina.
Hey, all right, a Carly.
Yes.
And why?
Well, there's tons of reasons, obviously, but I think she just fulfills the dreams of GOP.
Hey, Rob or Reed, I think you need to turn your radio down. I think that's why we're getting maybe that feedback.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's great. Okay, go ahead. What were you saying about Carly?
Well, I think she definitely fulfills the dreams of GOP voters. She has had the outsider executive experience from her time of being the CEO at HP, and then she's the steadfast conservative, and then she definitely has the ability to defeat Hillary Clinton. I think if there's any Republican candidate on the ticket, she's going to be the one to take the fight to Hillary, and who can defeat her.
Yeah, boy, that'd be that's really the truth too, because she's just not going to let she's not going to let Carly get away with that. All right, man. Hey, thank you very much, Reed. I appreciate it. 515-244-0077. Somebody called and asked Ryan to have me tell why I am no longer supporting Trump. And I don't want to make it a big deal out of it. I think most people didn't even know I was supporting Trump until I announced last Monday that I was no longer going to caucus for him. And I don't want to make this into a big deal. I have said this before. The reason I don't endorse candidates, and I never have, although most people would tell you I endorsed Mitt Romney, but see, that wasn't until after the primaries.
Yeah.
Because if what I say about a candidate is going to sway your vote, I'm not so sure you should vote, because I don't know anything. Yeah, I hang around the barbershop a lot, so I happen to get a lot of haircuts, which means we run in circles where I run with political people. I'm not a name dropper, but I've talked to a lot of cool people here in the last week across the country. I don't know why they want my what I'm thinking or what I'm saying. I guess because you're on the radio, that means something, and I'm not saying it doesn't, but I just don't subscribe to that deal where I should endorse somebody.
Sure.
But man, I was going for Trump. I've always said it. I said it when Romney ran. I even said it when Forbes ran. Talk about how big of a geek I am. I was for Forbes. I want to see what would happen if a businessman ran this country. Now, the problem is, I don't know if calling Donald Trump a genuine businessman is I don't know. I don't know if that's fair. When you run a corporation that is owned by its shareholders, like Romney does, like Forbes does or did, you have a certain amount of savvy to get along with shareholders. Because if you make the shareholders mad, you're fired.
Right.
Well, Donald Trump owns his company, so he doesn't have to play nice with other people. I was like Donald Trump. I owned my own companies almost wholly, so I didn't have to play nice with other people. And I'm not proud of that. I'm really not very proud of that. I did. I hurt people because I was like Trump. I just didn't care. But it was that side of Trump that really attracted me. When he said that he wouldn't need to ask God for forgiveness because he would just take care of himself, I knew there was something broken. Then when he brought his Bible, and who was his pastor when he was growing up? The famous Presbyterian that was the great writer?
No, it was the Power of Positive.
Norman Vincent Peale.
Norman Vincent Peale.
Yeah.
When he said that at a Republican rally that I was at and brought his mother's Bible and showed a picture of his confirmation, I doubted him even a little bit more.
Well, because that relates to your story, right? I mean, you grew up in the church. You're Episcopalian Sunday, right? You did your thing.
Yep. And when asked how often Donald went to church, How often do you go to church, Donald? He said, I don't need to go to church. We can just do our stuff at home on Sunday morning. Okay, the 2 Corinthians thing. Well, I didn't like that either. But when he said that my followers are so loyal to me that I could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue in Manhattan and they would still vote for me, the Holy Spirit or somebody did an amazing thing to me, because here's what I heard. Mac is so foolishly blind and naive that I could do the worst possible thing and take someone's life and he would still vote for me. And maybe that was the Holy Spirit. I don't know. But something at that point said, you really don't want to support that, do you? Now, apparently I'm a hypocrite, because if he gets the nomination, you'll hear me go full bore for him, because we need to beat whoever's on the other side. We cannot have another 4 years or 8 years or whatever of a Democratic rule. In fact, what we really need to do is we need to get a Republican rule in for the next 16 years so we can have a generational change.
Yeah.
We need to change the next generation. Maybe too late for the millennials. Maybe not. Reagan did it. Reagan changed. Reagan was able to change the children of baby boomers over to conservatives, where generally baby boomers' children were going to be liberal, because we want, we're entitled, gimme, gimme, gimme. So that's why I'm not caucusing for Donald Trump tonight. Like I said, if he wins the nomination, I'm all for him. All right, we've got guys on the line that want to share with us, people on the line that want to share with us how they're caucusing tonight at 244-0077.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Hi, my name is David Burrier, your Hope Coach. I host a live weekly talk show called I've Been There every Thursday afternoon at 5:30, right here on webcast1live.com, and on my weekly radio program Saturday mornings at 10 on Truth Network 99.3 FM. I interview common everyday people who have survived incredible life challenges and who testify to God's faithfulness in the midst of their storms. So join me as we bring a message of hope and encouragement. Everybody needs hope. I know, because I've been there.
Rockton Prevention is celebrating 25 years of creating a caring community. We want to say thank you to the tens of thousands of Rock High School mentors that have carried our message of help, love, and encouragement to over 1.5 million children, teachers, and parents. Our mentors teach children methods and skills to prevent bullying and drug use. Thank you to all the school administrators, teachers, and counselors for their opportunity to serve you. Rock on, fair citizens. Rock on. This is Pat McManus for Rockton Prevention, the Richard O. Jacobson Foundation, and this station.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast.
Okay, boy, the hour's flying by. I wanted to pray a little bit this hour, and we'll get to either at the end of this segment or next hour. But I've got some folks on the phone, and so I want to honor their time that they called in. Dave, you're live in Mac's World. Who are you caucusing for, Dave?
Hey, Mac, good to talk to you. I'm caucusing for Cruz tonight, and this is my first time I'll be caucusing.
So why, if I can ask you, can I ask you a question?
You sure may.
Okay, why is this your first time? You don't sound like you're 18 or 23 years old.
Far from it, brother. I'm in my 50s.
Okay.
I think just the way the nation has gone, and not just the last 7 years, but the trend I've seen in my lifetime, I haven't been involved enough, and I want to correct that wrong.
Is that kind of like that old saying, when you're young, you're kind of liberal and think you know it all, and then as you get older, you get more conservative and care more about the direction of your country?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. I would never say that I've ever been a liberal, but I know it's time to get more involved, and it's probably should have got involved a lot sooner than this. But I will tell you, my wife is an independent, and she wants to come along this evening, and she's going to register as a Republican this evening and caucus for Cruz as well.
All right. Good job, both of you. Yeah, and I'm not saying that whether I agree or disagree with your choice. I'm not commenting on that, but I'm very proud of you. Sure. Very blessed the fact that you guys are both going to go out and do it. What area of Iowa are you going to caucus in? Do you know where you're going?
Yep, we're in Ankeny at one of the middle schools. I know right where it's at. It's the one tied into I believe it's Kirkendall Library, and it's at the West Gym.
Oh, yeah.
Precinct 12.
All right, Dave. Listen, man, I love you. I appreciate you getting out there caucusing, and stay in touch. Let me know how it's going. I'm always interested in people who are first time getting out there and involved in the system.
Well, I'll definitely stay in touch. I enjoy your show, and I've listened. We have a couple of mutual friends. David Bush and Joe Tewell are mutual friends of ours, and I just really enjoy listening to the show.
All right, man. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it. Hey, make sure you tell me when you don't like it, okay?
You got it.
I need to know when you don't like it. And I can't help Frank. But if it's something I do, I want to know.
I'm not shy. I'll let you know. So far, you're doing really well. I enjoy your programming.
All right, man. Thanks for listening. All right, Frank, what do you got?
I wanted to ask you, Mac. You said something a little while ago about caucusing for geeks. You mentioned Steve Forbes and different ones. How did you come down on the Ross Perot campaign? Was you a Ross guy, or did you go for Bush Sr.?
I went for Bush Sr. I've always admired the Bush family, and I think Jeb would make an exceptional president. And I'll be honest with you, I put on my Facebook today, I'm with Ben, Jeb, and Rubio. I don't know who I'm going to caucus for. I'm in prayer. I'm asking God to nudge me. If I don't feel that nudge, I'm going to go with my heart, and probably not with anybody. Well, I think Rubio, I just don't think my opinion matters that much. But I think Rubio's the only one of those three right now that has an opportunity to truly win the nomination. If those three guys were 1, 2, and 3, I'd vote differently than I'm thinking.
Did anybody watch his 30-minute ad? I didn't see it.
I didn't see it. No. All right, let's go to Norbert. Norbert, you're live in Mac's World here on 99.3. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You said you had a question. How can I help you, sir?
Well, I'm glad to hear the last two callers. You've clarified a little bit. I mean, I'm pretty much ABH, anybody but Hillary. But,
I like that.
You had a pastor on Friday or something, and I just don't understand the logic of, if it's Trump, don't show up. I mean, that logic got us Barack Obama when people, turned against Romney because he was a Mormon.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand that logic. And you had, I tried calling in on Friday with that pastor, but I got in too late. And I just didn't understand the logic.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I don't either. To me, voting is non-negotiable. I always have said, I got to clean up this language because I can't say the way I usually say it. You can't complain if you don't vote. If somebody's talking to me about their government and this is wrong and that's wrong, a lot of the times I'll say, now you voted, right? Well, no, okay, then I don't care.
Well, sometimes, guys, don't you think it comes down to this issue, which I feel sometimes between being sort of practical vote, right? Because I'm with you. Anybody but Hillary, I like that was clever. ABH, I'm with you on that. But then there's also the issue of conscience. Can you vote for someone with a clean conscience? And I think that other aspect, I think, weighs some. And, anyway, I've been encouraged to maybe not worry so much about my conscience and actually be pragmatic on these issues. And so, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I just can't imagine not caucusing or not voting. I don't remember. I just don't think, I think I was who was Michael J. Fox in the 80s when he was on that show? Remember, he was the staunch Republican in the home of
Family Ties.
Family Ties.
Yeah, what was his?
Family Ties, yeah.
Yeah, I was like him in high school. I mean, I was into politics. I was into Kennedy, and I was into McGovern, and I was into Nixon. And
was that Alex Keaton?
Yeah, Alex P. Keaton. Thank you. Yeah. So I can't imagine not. I mean, that's a gift that God has given us in this country that none of that cannot be taken away from us. And I disagree, by the way, with the idea that the felons, if you've had a felony, you can't vote. If you've been convicted of a felony, I don't agree with that. If you come out of prison, some people can't vote, especially if it's a gun deal. I don't agree with that. I think everybody should be able to vote.
We got a chat question.
We got a chat question? All right.
Well, the question was, did you tell the Swedish people, the news crew, that the Dems can register as Republicans for the caucus?
I don't know.
Well, I was listening last night to a Kaufman from Iowa, and Republican Party, Kaufman at the Iowa Republican Party, he said Democrats can absolutely come and register as Republicans and vote in our caucuses.
But I don't know if I told Swedish TV that. Yeah, the question it was really cool. We had Swedish TV, and they're like BBC. They have it's like our public television,
right?
And they came in and interviewed us for like an hour, on Saturday. And that program is at Max World Live, or MacMcCoy.com. MacMcCoy.com. It is there on our YouTube page. If you just YouTube Webcast 1 Live Swedish TV, that program will come up. And at some point, I'm assuming they're going to send us. Listen to this. So they talked to us for like an hour and a half. It's a 4-minute segment.
Sure.
That they're going to run on Swedish TV today. And when we get that, we'll post that and we'll give it to you on Facebook and stuff. All right. We are coming up on our break with the Salem Radio Network News. I'm sure they'll update us on everything that's going on. When we come back, I want to know what you think. If you don't want to debate, we won't ask questions on why you're choosing who you've chosen. I haven't asked that of anybody. I just would like to hear from you. Who are you going to caucus for tonight? 515-244-0077 or on the Service Legends Truth Talk text line 809-0993. We're coming back. Thanks.